Everybody, I wanted to give you some video feedback this week on the short papers that you wrote on ethical principles and ethical practice in research. I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to do the city training, and I hope that you found it interesting and helpful. In examining the article by Dunn et al., I wanted to talk about a few sort of common errors in your papers and analysis, because as you go forward, we'll be writing a lot this term, and it'll be helpful to know what are some of the common mistakes when trying to do this sort of analysis on an article that you've read in the research. In this particular case, probably the most common issue was that students would identify aspects or evidence of practice, but not place it in the context of the reading. So, for example, someone might say, yes, a good example of protecting subjects is informed consent. But then there's no link to any of the readings on why informed consent is important and why it's even a part of ethical practice. Another might be that someone said, yes, informed consent is done and that's important. But why is it important and what does it even include? So in talking about informed consent, you might say that it's important because it is a key aspect of the protections of all human subjects and especially vulnerable populations. And it includes things like ensuring that people understand the focus of the study. They can drop out at any time. There's a list. So you could then cite Dane, your text. You could cite Salkind, who provides a list of what is included in informed consent. And you could even link it again to the Resnick article. So it's important to think about integrating all of these readings. And when you're doing your analysis, to place your comments in the context of those readings to support your views. So going forward, that will help all of you to do that better. And also to use all the readings that you can, not just refer to the text or the article itself, but integrate everything that you're reading to the extent possible to support your views in your writing. To make your analysis really strong, you need to do the same things that many of you cited as a strength of scientific integrity in having research authors cite all the previous research. You yourself would be sort of doing the same thing by making sure that you cite supporting evidence for the views that you prepare. So that's a common error, and I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that. I think you all did a great job talking about some of the key elements of ethical practice of research, justice, beneficence, all of doing no harm. So all of you, I think, got a very good sense of what it means to ensure that researchers are adhering to ethical practices, and that you have a somewhat good idea of at least a few markers to look for of evidence of that when you read the research. So I hope going forward that as we do continue to read different kinds of research and research designs, that you'll always keep this aspect in the back of your mind, that you, as one key element of the quality of assessing these research articles, is to always look for this evidence of ethical practice. Anyway, great job. Good start, everybody. And if you have any questions after you review the feedback, for those of you who are not familiar with the comments tool in Word, I'll also attach a link to this feedback announcement showing you how to look at the comments in Word, since I'll use that extensively throughout the term and want to be sure that you know how to examine it when you get the documents back. So once again, great start, everybody, and look forward to the next steps.